In the early morning hours of November 18th, 2023, tragedy struck in Jasper, Texas, when 24-year-old Rosalin Lewis lost her life inside her apartment at the Myrtis Village complex. Rosalin, a young mother of three, was found dead after a violent domestic dispute turned fatal. When police officers from the Jasper Police Department arrived at the scene shortly before 5 a.m., they discovered her lifeless body and confirmed she had suffered fatal injuries caused by blunt force trauma. Investigators immediately launched a probe into the incident, gathering evidence and interviewing neighbors, family, and friends to determine what had led to Rosalin's untimely death. This is the story of Rosalin Lewis. Rosalin Lewis was born on August 14, 1999, in Jasper, Texas, to her mother, Shwanda Scott. Unfortunately, information about her father is not known. Rosalin grew up in a Christian household and was actively involved in church life from a young age. Her devotion to faith was evident in the way she dedicated herself to serving God. She once held the role of choir master and later advanced in her spiritual calling by becoming a Sunday school teacher for young children. She attended Jasper High School, where she was a cheerleader. During her senior year, Rosalin and her mother co-founded Stunning Stars Cheer and Dance, where she served as the head cheer coach for Jasper Youth Cheer. Many fondly called her Roro, or Coach Ro, and she also gave private cheer lessons. She was admired for teaching countless girls how to dance and was deeply loved in her community. Under her leadership, Stunning Stars reached the state championship. Alongside her passion for cheerleading, Rosalin also dreamed of becoming a veterinary technician one day. Beyond her ambitions and career, Rosalin was the proud mother of three young children, aged 5, 3, and 2. She loved her children dearly and was known to be a devoted and nurturing mother. Around mid-2021, Rosalin was in a relationship with a man who was believed to be the father of one or two of her children. He appeared loving toward both her and the children, often being present in their lives. The couple seemed happy, frequently seen holding hands in public, but for reasons that remain unclear, their relationship eventually ended. Later, Rosalin met 23-year-old William Christian Thomas. Their relationship began in late 2022 and initially appeared to be filled with joy. Rosalin was very happy, and the two frequently shared moments of their relationship online. In October 2023, the couple posted a video celebrating their love, with William captioning it, "Our one-year anniversary today." To their friends and family, their relationship seemed sweet and stable. Sadly, just 3 weeks later, tragedy struck. On November 18, 2023, Rosalin and William got into a heated domestic dispute inside her apartment at the Myrtis Village complex in Jasper. During the altercation, William lost his temper, grabbed a hammer, and struck Rosalin multiple times in the head. She collapsed to the ground, and when William realized she was dead, he fled the scene. Someone later discovered Rosalin's body and contacted authorities. Jasper police officers were dispatched to the Myrtis Village apartments in the 200 block of Myrtis Street, just off Highway 190 East, shortly before 5 a.m. When they arrived, they found 24-year-old Rosalin Lewis deceased. Investigators determined that she had died from multiple blunt force injuries to the head. The shocking news devastated the Jasper community. Rosalin's death left behind her three young children, aged 2, 3, and 5, who would now grow up without their mother. Her body was taken for autopsy, and the medical examiner officially ruled her cause of death as blunt force trauma. As police gathered evidence, conducted interviews with neighbors, family, and friends, all signs pointed to her boyfriend, William Christian Thomas, as the prime suspect. He was arrested and charged with her murder. Authorities accused him of brutally killing Rosalin with a hammer inside her home. William was booked into the Jasper County Jail, where his bond was set at $1 million. A grand jury later indicted him on a charge of first-degree murder after reviewing evidence and testimony presented by the district attorney. On November 21, 2024, in a court appearance, William Christian Thomas pleaded guilty to first-degree murder in the death of Rosalin Lewis. As part of a plea deal, he was sentenced to 60 years in prison. In the aftermath of this tragedy, Rosalin's family created a GoFundMe page to help cover funeral expenses. Rosalin was remembered as a loving, compassionate, and vibrant young woman. She had a passion for cheering, dancing, coaching, and singing, and she cherished traveling with her family. Above all else, her greatest joy was her children, whom she adored deeply. Her babies were her world. Though her life was cut short in the most heartbreaking way, her loved ones hope that the justice she received brings some peace. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Here's a thoughtful analysis of Rosalin Lewis's story. The story of Rosalin Lewis is a heartbreaking example of how domestic violence can tragically end the life of someone young, vibrant, and full of promise. Rosalin was only 24 years old, a devoted mother of 3 small children, a cheer coach who inspired many in her community, and a woman who had dreams of advancing her career. Her life was defined by love for her children, her faith, and her passion for helping others. Yet behind the happiness she often shared publicly, there were hidden challenges in her personal relationships. At first glance, Rosalin's relationship appeared stable and filled with love. She and her partner openly celebrated milestones on social media, showing the world a picture of happiness. However, this tragic event highlights how outward appearances can be deceiving, and how domestic violence often escalates suddenly and violently. In Rosalin's case, what seemed like a loving relationship turned into a deadly confrontation. The brutality of the attack, using a hammer to strike multiple blows, underscores the intensity of rage and loss of control in domestic disputes. It also reflects a broader social issue. Intimate partner violence remains one of the leading causes of death for young women, particularly those balancing motherhood and relationships. The police response in this case was swift. Once Rosalin was found, investigators quickly pieced together what had happened through evidence collection and witness interviews. Their work ensured that the person responsible was held accountable. The justice system followed through with an indictment, charges of first-degree murder, and eventually a conviction that resulted in a lengthy prison sentence. This outcome brought a measure of justice, though it could never undo the pain of loss. For Rosalin's children, the impact is especially devastating. They not only lost their mother at a very young age, but also faced the trauma of knowing that her life was taken in such a brutal way. The community of Jasper also mourned, rallying around her family and remembering her as a woman who poured love into everyone around her. Ultimately, Rosalin's story is not just about a life cut short. It's a stark reminder of the dangers of domestic violence, the importance of recognizing warning signs, and the need for stronger support systems to protect victims before tragedy strikes. Here are some of the key lessons we can take away from the tragic story of Rosalin Lewis. 1. Domestic violence can happen behind closed doors. On the surface, Rosalin's relationship looked healthy and loving. They celebrated milestones online and shared happy moments. But behind that image, tensions existed. This shows that domestic violence is not always visible and can escalate suddenly, even in relationships that appear perfect. 2. Uncontrolled anger leads to irreversible consequences. The fatal argument that ended Rosalin's life began as a dispute, but in a moment of rage, it escalated into violence. This teaches us that unchecked anger can destroy lives in seconds and emphasizes the importance of emotional control and conflict resolution in relationships. Number 3. Victims of violence often leave behind loved ones who suffer deeply. Rosalin's 3 young children lost their mother in the most brutal way. The ripple effects of domestic violence extend far beyond the victim. Families, children, and communities are left to deal with grief, trauma, and loss. 4. Community support is vital in times of tragedy. After Rosalin's death, the Jasper community rallied around her family, creating a GoFundMe to cover funeral expenses and offering emotional support. This highlights the importance of standing with families affected by violence and helping them rebuild their lives. 5. Justice can be served, but it doesn't erase the pain. Law enforcement acted quickly, gathering evidence, making an arrest, and ensuring accountability through the justice system. While Rosalin's killer was sentenced, no amount of prison time can restore the life that was lost. Justice brings closure, but not healing. 6. Raising awareness can save lives. Stories like Rosalin's should serve as reminders of the dangers of intimate partner violence. By talking about these cases, spreading awareness, and encouraging people to speak up when they see red flags, more lives could potentially be saved. The ultimate lesson is that domestic violence is a serious issue that requires vigilance, awareness, and prevention. Recognizing warning signs, seeking help early, and providing support to victims can make a life or death difference.